turned out well. I like it.
Good morning. We're going to call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, we beseech your divine guidance in this meeting. Keep us ever mindful of our obligation. Grant us, dear Lord, wisdom, tolerance, and courage, that we may well serve our county and fulfill our trust. Amen. Amen. And also, before we get started today, we were saddened to learn of the passing of Sarah Pavlovich on July 15th. She served as Medina County Commissioner from 1995 to 1998. The board wishes to acknowledge her service to Medina County and send our sympathies to her family and those who knew her with a brief moment of silence. So if you'd join us for that, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes from the July 15th meeting.
I will second the motion.
Motion, second, discussion, roll call.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes. And next up is public comment. Is there any public comment regarding pending resolutions? Seeing none, we will move on to our resolutions. Are we starting here or no? The proclamation? Okay. Dan, you're up.
Okay.
You're right. I should have just followed your lead.
That's all right. I'll take a proclamation.
We're going to start with the highway engineer. Thanks, Dan.
I've got one resolution for your consideration today, and that's the necessity to close Marks Road for the Marks Road waterline replacement project near Boston.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I will second the motion.
Motion, second, discussion, roll call.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Next up, sanitary engineer Jeremy Cinco.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
4 resolutions for consideration today. The first is amending the fee and charges schedule for the Medina County sanitary sewer and water systems. That's to add the AMI opt-out charge. The second is authorizing the sanitary engineer to obtain an easement for the Granger Road water main improvement project. The third is awarding the proposal and authorizing a contract with Shook Construction for the construction manager at risk services for the Westfield water treatment plant project. And the final is authorizing the sanitary engineer department to advertise for bid for lawn maintenance and snow plowing services for the Medina County Sanitary Engineering Department and various Medina County facilities.
I'll make a motion to approve the 4 resolutions.
I will second the motion.
Motion, second, any discussion? I have 2 questions. Question number 1 was related to the metering. Have you communicated with the folks who had elected to opt?
The one
out?
that you had sent over, they're maybe okay now.
Okay.
And they're going to get back to me. And I have been in communication with the other individual and told them I would get, once this got approved,
Great.
I would get that over to them.
Good. Second question on snow plowing. Is that just for your offsite facilities, or is that at the engineering facility too?
The engineering facility is done by building maintenance.
Okay.
This is for basically our offsite stuff.
The places around the county? Perfect. Okay. Additional discussion? No? Roll call?
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Thanks.
Next up, we have HR, and Nicole Lee is here this week. Morning, Nicole.
Good morning. I have one resolution for you today. We have 2 new hires, one at solid waste, one at dog shelter, 9 rate increases, 5 in sanitary, 1 at JFS, 1 in IT, 1 at county home, and 1 at McSass, 2 promotions in sanitary, 4 rate corrections in sanitary, 2 leave of absence, 1 in sanitary, 1 at county home, 1 resignation date change in maintenance, and 4 resignations, 1 in IT, 1 in transit, 1 at county home, and 1 at JFS.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second the motion.
Motion, second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Brett Thomas from Finance. Morning, Brett.
Good morning, Commissioners. I have 10 resolutions for you today. Our first one is increases in appropriations. There are a couple things that I do want to highlight and go over with you on this one. The first one is our increase for Technology Lane. That is our purchase of the University Center building. We also have some capital improvement increases. Those are for work that is going to need to be done on the University Center. And then we have our court case management software. As I mentioned last week, we're starting to be able to move forward with the Tyler project, and this amount will clear out our invoices that we have held back from 2023, requiring them to have some level of resolution for us, which they have now started to provide. Our second resolution is our transfer of appropriations. The main one of note here coming out of subsidies is our annual increase for the second half for Board of Elections for their contract services as they get prepared for November. Our third resolution is expenditure adjustments for various funds. The main chunk out of this is actually for the maintenance department, moving funds over from Job and Family Service for the Public Assistance Fund to cover the maintenance on that building. Our fourth resolution is cash transfers for various funds. This is for solid waste, our regular housekeeping moves. Our fifth resolution is creation of the Drug Task Force Fiscal Year 25-26 Fund and authorizing the appropriations. McDack had awarded them $935,000 for the upcoming year, and that is now pieced out in that account. Our sixth resolution is acceptance and creation of the DTF Office of Criminal Justice Assistance Grant Fund for the Edward Byrne Memorial Grant. You guys had approved this over the past couple weeks. We had $33,322 that came in for that. Our seventh resolution is accepting an application for the use of a procurement card for the sheriff's office for the jail. This is not actually a new card. This is a change of policy from PNC. They used to allow us to have multiple cards with the same number on them, which it has been a long-standing practice that they have been trying to move away from that. So we are now at the point where we had to finally reissue one of the cards that we did have for it because they will no longer hold that account. So this is an issuance of a second procurement card for the jail because they normally have to. Our eighth resolution is authorizing purchase of 6,800 gallons of gasoline for the engineering center. As usual, Ports Petroleum has come in as our low bid at $1.98.8. Our ninth resolution is our expenses of county officials. We have a couple for solid waste here, but nothing out of state this time. And our 10th and final resolution is our weekly bills in the amount of $1,317,251.49.
I'll make a motion to approve the 10 resolutions.
Second the motion.
Motion second, any discussion? Roll call.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Commissioner.
Thanks, Brett. Next up, Matt Springer, County Administrator.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have three resolutions. The first one is amending the employee bonus policy. This is something we adopted last year, and there were some changes to the revised code that now limits the maximum bonus to not exceed 10% of an employee's annual salary. Obviously, there's written notice that needs to be approved as well. So this would amend our existing policy. The second resolution is declaring a motor vehicle as excess property. This is a 2008 Chevy Impala, previously used by our cleaning staff. That's no longer needed, so we'd make it available through public auction. And the third and final is an agreement to enter into design services with Perspectus. This would be for the University Center and the Sheriff's Office for a build-out. The design services would be $48,120 once the property closes. We're still expecting closing on July 31st.
Great.
I'll make a motion to approve the 3 resolutions.
Second the motion.
Motion second, discussion?
Excited about the closure.
Oh, yeah.
Roll call.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have department updates. We're going to start with Debbie Kiley this morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Debbie.
First things first, 3 resolutions for your consideration this morning. The first is a resolution amending the social services policies and fiscal plan. And the next is authorizing the county auditor to transfer funds from the JFS Children's Services Fund to our Public Assistance Fund. And the last one, resolution authorizing the county auditor to transfer funds for our child support administration and expenditures.
I'll make a motion to approve the 3 resolutions.
Second the motion.
Motion second, discussion. Roll call.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Pearson?
Yes.
Quick department updates.
Sure.
As I reported and presented last month, it was proposed that SNAP federal funding was going to be cut by 25%, and then that 25% would be passed on to states. That has indeed been included in the legislation. So that hit to the state of Ohio for its expenditures could be as much as $65 million that they didn't otherwise budget for. So the Directors Association is working with the state legislators to better understand and minimize the impact towards counties, like how is the state going to pay for that $65 million. That funding change is effective in October of 2026, so I'm sure there's lots of time for conversations. There's also some additional SNAP expenditures. It's a new cost sharing for error rates that I had talked to you all about last month. It's a penalty, if you will. It's going to be applied to states who have error rates above 6%. Medina's error rate is 0. We've been 0 for quite a while, but it's the collective state error rate. Obviously, that matters here. So states are going to be fined or asked to cost share anywhere between 5 to 15% of their total SNAP expenditures. For the state of Ohio, I think on average they issue $3.2 billion in SNAP benefits every month. So if their error rate goes above 6%, they'll be charged. It's tiered. If it's above 6% to like 7.9, it's X amount percentages. So the recent month that was reviewed, which was actually February, there's a decent lag in the review months for SNAP benefits. The state was indeed under the 6%. So we've improved, but the historical number has been 9. So we are definitely at the higher threshold of error rates, which would mean the state of Ohio would be penalized 15% of that $3.2 billion. This isn't effective until federal year 2028, so the state has a ton of time to make some improvements. We just need more of those months being under 6% to happen. And I guess I'm proud to say Medina is not a causal county towards that error rate. We're doing exceptionally well. There are new work requirements for SNAP and Medicaid. The bill did pass work requirements for all individuals and families that have children under the age of 14. Currently, it's a very small population, 18 to 54 years old. They've now expanded it to be 64 years old and include families with children over the age of 14. They'll be mandatory to do a work requirement for both Medicaid and SNAP. SNAP is effective immediately. The rules haven't been written yet, so we're not changing anything yet. We're just waiting for FNS to deliver those rules. For Medicaid, it's not effective until January of 2027. Most of those things, it's December 31st, 2026, so I'm just saying January of 2027. Like I said, the rules have yet to be written. Right now, there's no work requirement for Medicaid, so our Medicaid teams are going to have to learn a brand new policy. I'm not sure what it's going to be. I think there's some conversation with the Department of Medicaid that it's just going to be something on an application that says I have worked 80 hours in the last 30 days or I have not. What happens when you answer no to that question is yet to be seen, though. So details will be forthcoming. Lastly, there's going to be something called Medicaid eligibility. It's called additional eligibility checks. So right now, we review Medicaid eligibility every 12 months, so once a year. Families and individuals are required to report any changes in income, assets, things like that. But if they don't report those changes and we don't hear from them, we talk to them or send them some sort of documentation once a year. These additional eligibility checks are now going to be every 6 months for our expansion population, so that Group 8 individual. It's essentially doubling the work. Now, rather than talk to them every 12 months, we're talking to them every 6. The rules are not yet written yet, so we don't know what that looks like. There is some conversation out there that is this just going to be a software program comes in and runs a batch on all those cases, compares it to IRS filings, W-4s for new hires, things like that, and determines like, nope, they're still okay, and passes them on, or it will be the county's responsibility. So it's probably going to be a mix of those two things. So more details to come. I did meet with my management team as soon as this soon as we kind of like hashed out all of these rules and what they mean, but I met with them yesterday saying, hey, this is all the stuff that's coming down the pike. What are we going to do? Let's start planning. So they're getting their heads together, and we will meet continually. A shout out. I will end on a good note to our Child Support Division, and how fittingly that it's, you have a resolution in front of you for Child Support Awareness Month next month. The division just got notified yesterday, I believe, that we are the top in the state for its customer use of the state's web portal. So the web portal exists for clients on both sides, whether you're making a payment or receiving a payment, to go in, look at those. Basically, it's like your Target account. You're looking at your account saying, when did I get a payment? When is my payment due? You can also access your caseworker through that web portal and send messages directly to your caseworker, rather than, oh, I got to pick up the phone. Maybe I work third shift and we're not open. So we can send them a message and get to your worker right away. So we have been chasing Wayne County because they have held the top spot for a couple of years, but we finally surpassed them last month. So we are the top in the state. And I just want to give a special shout out to Judge Schaefer's court. She's been instrumental in marketing that when people come through her court alongside our division. So
Congratulations.
child support's number one. Any questions?
Is that a per capita rating? Is it based on the number of users and the percentage of them? Is that how they do it across the state?
That's a
or-
fantastic question. I didn't look. I was just like, we're number
No,
one.
we're
I
number
don't
one.
care.
Right. The metrics are sound. We know that. Yeah. And so we do have a proclamation here that I will read, related to, I'm going to have to take my glasses off, I'm sorry, related to proclaiming August 2025 as Child Support Awareness Month. Whereas Medina County recognizes the unique value and potential in each child, and Medina County believes in the responsibility to promote and nurture their well-being, and whereas Child Support Awareness Month reminds us that children need the emotional and financial support of both parents to reach their full potential and provide for everyday necessities, and whereas we recognize that non-custodial parents sometimes face barriers in meeting their obligations, and some require services and assistance to do so, and whereas Medina County Job and Family Services Child Support Division, with support from the Medina County Commissioners, Medina County Domestic Relations Court, Medina County Juvenile Court, Medina County Court of Common Pleas, Medina County Prosecutor's Office, Medina County Sheriff's Office, Medina County Clerk of Courts, work together to develop child support services and assistance programs to efficiently and effectively collect and disperse child support payments, as well as be a model for child support enforcement throughout the state. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Medina County, Ohio hereby proclaim August 2025 as Child Support Awareness Month and recognize the importance that citizens, community agencies, faith groups, medical facilities, and businesses have in working together to ensure children's success.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second the motion.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Happy to weigh in on this and make this proclamation.
Yeah.
Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you.
Can we do a quick photo?
Sure.
You're in the middle.
Thanks.
Yeah.
We're trying to get them in the
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah. Great.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
you.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks again, Debbie.
Oh, sure. Thank you.
Next up, we have Shannon Ryan with Transit. Morning, Shannon.
Good morning. I have one resolution. Approving the acceptance of funding from the ODOT SFY State Fiscal Year 26 Rural Transit Program. It's really going to help us cover our costs as a match, a 50% match that we match, but you'll see that we match a little less here because the state kicked in some 100% money. So
Great.
I
That's great.
included the chart of what other rural transit agencies are getting across the state as well, showing that we're doing quite well. I was happy to see that, along with our 25 award, the third and fourth quarter 25s.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second the motion.
Motion second. Discussion. Roll call.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Just a quick brief report for our month. Ridership was down a little bit, mainly in Medina. We're seeing the impacts of senior adult services travel change a little bit. Some folks not taking those discretionary trips, mainly the medical and necessity trips, so we're seeing a little impact there. Ridership always dips down in June People travel, and I think that's what I've said, but we're continuing to control cost, continuing to make sure our cost per passenger stays down well below what others have found to find. So 0 trip denials, which is always good news. So mainly a good month, but we've learned a lot about what happens year over year. Again, I mentioned senior adult services, ridership's down a little bit there. I think what we're going to see is that's trending back up as we get out of the summer months and people are kind of adjusting. I did include a couple of, we love to see these, and one of them is for the group as customer compliments. I included, and thank you, Rhonda, for allowing me to put some very nice pictures of our clients in there. Just a gentleman, I'll just read the one to specifically Tiffany, one of our great folks we just brought on board. She's been a really great asset to us, but thanks for taking such good care of my dad and his rides. He's going to miss the crew. He's already met for euchre at the facility. So these are the folks that we're impacting on a daily basis, and again, showing some pictures. And then we had a group compliment from Mr. Torres. So just seeing the positive impacts that Transit's making, not only that, but the financial impact of getting people where they're going, to grocery stores, to the businesses, people to work. So it just shows that we're making an impact, and that means a lot to the team. So I like to share that and give them that credit.
That's great.
Yep, thank you for sharing that, too. Questions?
Nope. Good job.
Thanks, Shannon.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Next up is Stacy Malakar.
Morning.
Morning.
Couple things, updates for you. Fair's coming, and we are really excited and grateful to the Fair Board, and particularly the Junior Fair Board. They're collaborating with us for Sensory Fun Friday. First time doing it, so we're real excited about that. Again, we're going to have the mobile changing unit there, which has been received with a lot of excitement and need and use. The other thing I wanted to share with you is that we've been working with the first responders. It's really important to try to educate our first responders, working with people with developmental disabilities in stressful situations. So we've done some trainings. I meant to bring these blue envelopes. It's going across the state. Families can get a blue envelope, and they can put information about their loved one, how to work with them in a stressful situation and contacts and stuff. And then you can have that if there's a situation arises, there's an emergency, something, you have that to help the first responders. We've done the Roth ID, which is another thing that's gone across the nation. And this is a barcode that you can put on like a car seat or a bag or something. So if there's a car accident and a parent is unresponsive, unconscious, they've got some information right away about this little one and who to contact. So those are all great things. We completed our Safety Town Plus, which is always fun and exciting. And I want to recognize the DSPU grads. We had 6 young students graduate from that. And again, wonderful collaboration with the Career Center, just a great program. Wanted to share with you too some financial stuff that's going on. So we completed our first quarter billing cycle, and we paid out, Medina County paid out $11 million in waiver service for this first quarter. That's about 2.5% increase from last quarter. So services are going up, costs are going up. Our local match of that 11 million was 3 million, which again has gone up little over 3%. So the wage increases, which were significant and needed, we're seeing that. We're seeing increased needs. We're seeing our census increase. So we're very fortunate that we can provide that for folks. Any questions for you?
Financially, then, I mean, those are the types of things that your reserves have been in the news a lot here recently,
Right.
the state budget. So those are the kinds of things that your reserves are in place to withstand.
Right.
And those still look, financially
We're still doing
strong.
good. We're dipping down in, but we're we're looking at our forecast, and we have this current 10-year levy. We're halfway through. It's up in 30, so we're looking at, we're going to stretch that through to 30.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
things are going up, but we're managing.
Good.
Yeah.
Good, very good.
Other questions?
No, thank
Great.
you.
Thanks for being here,
Thanks,
Stacy. Always great to hear from
absolutely.
you. We'll maybe see you at the fair on Friday.
Absolutely.
Okay. Next up, last but not least, Ed Zachary.
Must be alphabetical.
I would say if your last name starts with a Z, you're used to waiting, I'm sure, right?
Story of my life. I thought about dropping the Z and going with Ackery, but
That'd be a big change.
how's everybody doing this morning? Good?
Good.
All right, so short update this morning. We filed 242 VA claims. Those are new claims through the month of June. That's a little bit on par with last year. Things really haven't changed too much. 184 medical and ancillary benefits for the VA. Our current pending claim inventory is 373 with 22 appeals at our office. The average claim filed per month is about 40. And the first page has the graphs and everything right there on there. The geographic distribution of expenditures for the VA, I usually update during this meeting. That is how much money has come to our veterans in either cash or healthcare is not out yet. Typically it comes out between March and May. We asked the deputy secretary last week where it's at, and he said hopefully in September, so no reason given or anything like that. So maybe I can come back in October and update you on that. Typically, we expect it to be around 120 million this year. We did 2 MRF applications. The MRF program's kind of phasing away with the state. That was a program for disabled veterans from OIF and OEF. They're allowed to apply for it 3 times, so it's kind of going away. Most of them have already got it. The bonus program is totally closed out with the state. Financial assistance, we saw 153 eligible clients the first half. 13 of those were new. The new clients is down, so that's kind of a good thing. We're not seeing new people that are in need. The total written was $177,662.63. The total paid out was a little bit less, $175,210.03 for the first half, and that is on par with last year. It's risen a little bit, but ultimately it remains pretty low from past years. The veterans, I know he mentioned the transit, great program we started in 2020 where veterans can ride anywhere in the county on the transit for free as long as they have an ID card from the recorder's office. So that program continues to be very popular, especially amongst our elderly and disabled veterans that don't have a way to get around. Our van riders, the numbers are there. They remain consistent for the VA. Those are our trips to Akron, Parma, and Cleveland, and then the Medina County Public Transit. We average around 200 a month with the transit trips for veterans around the county. The new program, so the new building, I can't talk enough about the building. We started all these programs back in like February. Art class, we got guitars for vets. We have a Tai Chi class. We got more stuff than I can even remember some days. They started out slow. I will tell you we're on our second iteration. Every class is either doubled in size or is filled. I talked to a gentleman the other day. He's in 2 of the classes. Actually, he's in 3 for this iteration. He says it's life-changing for him. He's meeting people. So that's really what it's all about. It's not making the next Picasso or anything, but it's about getting people and getting that they can enjoy their lives a little bit. So we're going to have our first Guitars for Vets graduation next month sometime. I'll let you know when that is. We're giving them a guitar. We have a nonprofit that's paying for the guitars and all that, so it's working out well. We continue to look for new ways that, we're kind of transferring from this, just giving money and giving benefits. We still do all that, but we're trying to make it more, more therapeutic type stuff for veterans to come in and do. And the cost, I'll update you on that for the next report at the end of the year, but the cost has been pretty minimal other than the building expansion, what we're paying for these services. We've seen 1,172 clients for the first half. That's total appointments, not to include the transportation. We continue to work with the municipal court and their Veterans Treatment Court over there. The average is about 7 a month, and those aren't necessarily new people either. They kind of roll over from month to month. But we're involved in that court every time they have a session. Continue to kind of push the county for a Veterans Treatment Court at the county level, but that's another discussion. As far as the homelessness, so we average about 15 people in risk of homelessness or in homelessness in the county a month. The new Next Step Up shelter's been a godsend, really. It's working well for us because we're able to know where they're at. We're able to get the people in there from the VA, and oh gosh, I can't remember what it's called. The HUD, there's HUD-VASH vouchers. So they've gotten people housed within like 2 or 3 weeks. And the follow-up on that from the VA, they work with these folks to make sure that they have everything they need. They're getting them in social work programs, things like that. So it's just, it's worked out well. We've
So-
changed.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yep, go ahead.
The benefit of the shelter in that is that they're in one place that time, and so it can move the
Correct.
process. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
You know, and it's, you know, it's better than, you know, a motel room or something like that. You know, I mean, it's kind of like some wraparound services there. But I know for our folks, the VAs come in, got them houses within the county. The houses are paid for a certain undetermined amount of time. They're involved in programs. They get them in healthcare. So the recovery process works well. We've changed some of our policies so we could kind of expedite the assistance that we can give people when they come out of the shelter. We're still within the Ohio Revised Code, you know, as far as the 90 days and residency requirements. We just changed a few things because typically we wouldn't assist coming out of a domicile facility like that. But if you're in the Next Step Up, we're working with them. They're giving us reports and things like that. So it works out well.
Good.
Department of Health, we still have a dental program. We work with the Department of Health. Me personally, I think it's very underused. We advertise it. We opened it up to those family members that are eligible for dental also. If the veteran's eligible, then the family member's eligible for it. And they do just about everything you can imagine down there at the health department. So we've paid for dentures, we've paid for cleanings, just about anything you could imagine. We co-op with the Parma Vet Center. They still have a room. They do one-on-one counseling over in the senior center or the Human Resources Center now. And we're doing the groups all in our office in the community room. We talked about moving them into the one-on-ones into that community room. The counselors, and when they asked some of the clients did not want to come to our office for the one-on-one counseling because they didn't want us to kind of know how often they were being counseled and stuff like that. So the privacy of the room over there works well for that. And then the group sessions are all in our community room. And they saw 92 clients the first half. Again, can't thank you enough for the expansion. It's just working out unbelievable. People love the building. Everybody that comes into it loves the new services. It's working out great. In closing, a couple quick notes. Monday, noon to 4 is Veterans Day at the Medina County Fair. We were supposed to have the Army Country Band there. They called me yesterday, and their funding was cut on Friday because they are a non-essential part of the Army now. So they got their funding cut. So they won't be coming. I got Island Troy, though. He's coming, so we'll have some margarita music and things like that. On the 15th through the 17th of August, the nonprofit we work for, Medina County Veterans Memorial Fund, so 501c3, is having a Colors of Honor in Brunswick at the Tri-C Center. They're going to have 100 flags up there. It's to raise money for first responders and veterans. They got a ton of events planned. There's like a prayer service, I think, Friday night with the a cappella group out of Akron who are nationally renowned. The Men of Honor, I think, is their name. We got music Saturday night with ice cream social, free ice cream. We got a prayer breakfast for veterans and first responders, free breakfast on Saturday, and then Sunday we got a closing ceremony. So it's going to be a big weekend for Brunswick. Last but not least, I want to mention what they call the pay to play. So a lot of legislation out there, both on, not necessarily in the state of Ohio, but in states and on the federal level about people charging to get your benefits from the Department of Veterans Affairs. They're not accredited with the VA. They have no access to the VA. They're just charging people money to go get their benefits. We've been pushing back on the legislation. There's one bill that says it's okay. There's another bill that says it isn't. Some states have outlawed it entirely. A lot of these people are just bad actors. They're taking veterans' money and they shouldn't. I'm not going to say, you know, I mean, they publicize the veterans that get a good outcome, but we've seen veterans that have paid a lot of money and get nothing for it. And you can come see somebody like us and we do it for free and we do it very well. So just want to put that out there. Any questions? Nope.
Thanks, Ed. Thank you. Thanks for your work.
Thank you.
And Next up, we have a commissioner's resolution. This is approving the petition for boundary line adjustment for Hinckley Township.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I will second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
I'll just say, I regret we have to do this, but
Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes. Okay, next up is public comment. Is there anyone here for public comment? No. Then next up is the discussion session. Barb, do you have anything for discussion?
I shall be bringing it up.
Okay. Okay.
Do we do it now, or?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I just wanted to report, and I asked Barb to be here to also add, I guess, answer any questions you may have. We had the Medina County Solid Waste Technical Advisory Committee meeting last week, going over the plan. I think each of us received the various scenarios for flow control, the pros and cons. There was an exercise they have gone through our consultant and so forth. They went through each of that. They also went through some I'll say a long discussion. The meeting, I think, lasted like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yes, it did.
It was very nice. We explored the issue up and down and back and forth and about everything, every which way, and came back with essentially some 3 recommendations to move forward for the consultant. And obviously, I want to thank Colleen Sweattick, who was able to be there as well, to hear the discussion as well as the thoughts of the various parties. The 3 fundamental motions that were made or discussions and directions that they would like to see is one involves to keep or eliminate flow control. There were 8 votes of the members who wanted in favor of keeping flow control, and 2 votes wanted to remove flow control. They're talking about county flow control. Flow control is used by Medina and Brunswick, and every community has flow control, but the countywide and at the district level. So that the decision at that point was to overwhelmingly as a direction to continue keeping flow control. And the other was to develop a more refined waiver system based on tonnage. We have a waiver for those under the flow control. 5 votes were in favor. 4 votes were against, and 1 was an abstention. So the direction is pretty much in favor to help define more of that waiver system based upon tonnage as opposed to the type of a waste that is processed and its impact on the system. So we have a current waiver system and criteria. And this only involves the new plan, not the current plan. And then last is to whether to allow outside county waste. There were 6 votes against allowing the outside county waste, and then 5 votes in favor of allowing outside county waste. For the way I would interpret that is for now. Obviously, those were fairly close, and the plan can include some discussion as to how the district could move forward in the future with flow control. Right now, it's prohibited to provide for outside of the county waste. But the plan could include some mechanisms in the future to be considered. So that's the direction the consultant is taking, those looking at the various options, in which case over the next month or so, she'll be refining that, and of course then taking that back to the policy committee, which we anticipate at this point will be meeting sometime in September. And so I guess any questions, I just want to bring it up to you, see if you have any questions, any concerns, anything we need to address, either at the TAC level or within us or with Barb and the consultant regarding moving in those directions.
So without having the scenarios in front of me, which you've been helpful in providing, and we had those for our last meeting that we held on this, those votes would inform what, maybe, are there maybe 2 or 3 scenarios left that would be?
We'll need her to come up.
What's
We
that?
need Barb to come up.
Oh, yeah, Barb, do you mind
Sure.
coming? Yeah, thank you, Rhonda.
Hi. I believe that they had narrowed it down to 3 scenarios, and that's what they actually made their comments on, their pros and cons, and that's kind of what they evaluated when they came up with these motions that Steve told us about.
So,
Right, and so basically it's scenario 9, that's the flow control
Yep.
without Brunswick waste or a community's waste that involved a waiver.
Right.
So as well as what any other fees would have to change. She's going to have to, there's a designation fee that potentially would be looked at, as well as any other waiver fees that would have to be imposed to offset the cost to the district for the loss of that waste, because there's countywide programs that all waste pays for, that are subsidized significantly, household hazardous waste and recycling, and because all recycling, remember, is free. There's no charge to that. So that has to be subsidized somehow. So what comes down to is, so that's basically the scenario in a broad scenario, but the consultant is working with what that means in terms of our budget, correct?
Yeah, she's gonna start working on how that's gonna impact the budget and what we need to do from there. Once they've developed what the budget would be based on that criteria, then they can move on to the programming. And we can look at what our programs are now and how we need to alter or fix those. Some of the things that we charge for in our specialty waste facility, that will be looked at as well.
Right now, what we charge for the specialty waste does not cover the cost.
Yeah.
And so that'll have to be included in the budget, as well as we have also need for expanded programs, such as the lithium-ion battery issue. And all those are things that have to be added, but now that the consultant has a direction, now we have to look and see then make sure that we've got the budget for it. We also have the plan for it, and then if we're going to have a more defined waiver system, what are the criteria that ought to be used to basically waive the requirements for coming to the facility?
Well, that was one of the questions I had ahead of the TAC meeting, which I appreciate, Barbara, you had weighed in on some of that, because related to, if Brunswick is the kind of the immediate concern.
Well, they're the ones that have actually passed a formal resolution to, right now, to currently waiver.
Right. So I wasn't sure how much of the waste that they're providing, or how, if we work backwards from that to come up with the structure of how the waiver needs to look. But obviously, then they're going to feel singled out if we do that. So it's a tricky.
The question too, from a policy
dynamic.
end, is it just Brunswick, or are there other entities ought to be allowed to waiver, and what the criteria that's used, and what the impact of that budget would be. So I think those are all items that the consultant will be coming back to the policy committee for us to consider as we develop out the plan.
And the ship has sailed on selling the facility? Is that's not part of the?
That was not considered by
discussion?
that was one of the options, but that's not one considered just because of the economics and just when you did the analysis that was not, and the pros and cons.
Yeah. And I knew that wasn't, there obviously are, that doesn't, flow control doesn't exist if the facility's not there. So there seemed to be wide support for flow control coming.
Well, actually, when you look at the various pros, a lot of pros with it for the status quo.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of benefits to us. So if you look at the tipping fee, our tipping fee is competitive. Everybody else charges more.
Yes.
Really?
Every surrounding community charges more in the tipping fee than we do. And we're in a very good spot. And so there was a lot of interest in maintaining the status quo as well.
Yeah.
But we had the reality of at least one major source, being Brunswick City, being interested in wanting to have a waiver, or be considered no longer required to come to the facility.
Correct.
And then the outside waste vote, that one intrigued me too. You said it was close, and it was more of a for now kind of a.
Yeah, I think the recognition is it's for now, because there's the questions of capacity. But it was very clear that given the direction, the plan will provide for a waiver and the criteria for that, but any of the costs of waiving will not be offset by bringing in out-of-county waste.
Okay. Well,
I think that was clear.
That's kind of the push-pull that I've kind of seen when you look at the numbers, because there is that, I guess it's more theoretical at this point, outside waste dynamic.
Well, how do you allow
that
outside
impacts.
waste?
Right.
All of it, some of it?
Right.
What are the qualification requirements? That's why I think at this point, it doesn't mean that it couldn't be considered in the future, but because right now it can't be considered in our current plan.
Right.
It's the unknown, I believe, that.
Yeah.
Correct.
I think that was an issue. We don't know exactly how much is going to come through, especially with our prices being so much lower than the surrounding counties. What was that going to look like to us? And then, of course, the capacity issue and how we could handle that. So.
Well, there's the operational parameters. So you don't want to get so so, I'll just say, so popular.
Yeah.
That all the locals are actually having difficulty bringing their waste in, because if the truck line's all the way out to Lake Road, truck line goes all the way out to Lake Road, there's a failure in the system.
Yep.
So we have to make sure we have the capacity and those operational requirements of every day, the floor has to be cleaned. Likewise, you can't have trucks, we've got operators, coming from the cities and also the private sector. They can't be sitting there half the day waiting to drop off their load. So those are the parameters that you have to, so that the interest is in managing our capacity. That'd be a future issue.
Yep, makes sense. Anything else, Colleen? No?
No.
I would like to add that our facility will be closed on Saturday, August 2nd, for repairs to the transfer floor. So
Great.
I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that we're going to advertise it as well, but we've also notified haulers and the cities individually, and we're going to be posting it and handing out flyers and everything for everybody coming through as well.
Appreciate it.
So,
Thanks for
Very
the heads up.
thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Matt? Yeah. Yep.
Thank you. Just two very brief items. Wanted to make sure the board was aware, we had issued recently an RFQ for insurance representation. So that filing deadline was this past Friday. We received some great submissions, and so we're actually in the process of scheduling interviews with 3 different firms, one of them being the incumbent provider for Course's next round of policy coverage period. So just wanted to make sure you were aware of that. And then some good news, I think. The elevator is scheduled to be complete later this week. Right now, the cab is being installed. We're scheduling the state inspection for this Wednesday. So we're optimistic that come Thursday, Friday of this week, it's going to be fully operational and ready for use. So next week, Stan, I assure you, you'll be using the elevator. And that's it.
Great. Thanks,
Okay,
Matt.
thanks.
As will I.
Denise, do you have? Oh, yeah.
Question, has Ed Zachary mentioned to you at all about the potential of a VA clinic in Medina County?
I'm gonna
Instead of us all having to go
I'm going to
elsewhere?
repeat that for the question was, just so that for everybody, the question was if we've heard anything about a VA clinic in a countywide VA clinic as opposed to going to downtown.
Or downtown.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything about that. Yeah.
Right. Well, for your knowledge, they have been prospecting. They were in Seville, federal people.
Hold on one,
and looked at two
hold on one
sites
second,
there.
please.
He's going to get you, Mike.
Looked at 2 sites in Seville.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Yeah. Okay.
You want to repeat that? You want to repeat that for the public?
Your words, not mine. No. Yeah.
Yes, I happened to talk to Mayor Carter, and Mayor Carter brought to my attention, because I'm a VA and I use their services,
Sure.
that the VA had sent some locator, or people that work on locations for clinics, and they looked at 2 sites at Interstate 71 and 76 and Route 3. So I don't know where it's going to go, because now she hasn't heard anything for about 3 months because all these funding cuts that have been going on.
Right.
But it would be wonderful if
Yeah.
that would occur.
Yeah, it would
But
be.
thank you very much.
For sure.
Anything that enhances access to healthcare in Medina County will have my support, particularly if it's for veteran benefits too. So, thanks for bringing that to our attention. Colleen, anything?
Yeah, I just want to wish everybody having a great time at the fair next week. Starts on Monday morning.
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to bring up, and I guess with your permission to invite at the Housing Network, we had a great report on the Next Step Up shelter report. And you heard from Ed, there's, I think, some great success stories there. And I thought it'd be very beneficial to have them, even since we directly provided significant funding for its construction, we indirectly are providing a lot of support for the agencies that are there. It'd be nice to have a good regular report. I'll be meeting with Skip actually Thursday morning to talk about the shelter and so forth, its future operations. And if you don't mind, I'm going to ask him if they could on a regular basis just set up a schedule to come in and just report to us. There's some, like I said, there's some really good news stories coming out of it.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, and it helps to kind of tell the story of how beneficial that is, the impact it's having on,
Oh, yeah.
on the communities who benefit so much from it. So, great
Yeah.
idea.
All right, great.
And I don't have
That's it.
anything else, so I think.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second the motion.
Motion second, roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes. Thank you, everybody. See you next week.